Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and today we're going to take a look at the Comica CVM VM10 Mark II. Keep watching to find out more, or keep listening to find out more. Okay, so today we're going to be taking a look at the Comica CVM VM10 Mark II. Now this is a mini directional microphone, cardioid pattern, self-powered, doesn't need any batteries, and is very similar to the Rode Video Micro. I think that's the Video Micro. I'll put some links in the description below so you can compare them, but essentially they look and work in a very similar way, and hopefully the audio quality is very similar as well, because we all know that Rode mics generally stand for great quality. Comica, a slightly less well-known brand, but hopefully just as good in the microphone stakes. So at the moment I'm recording this on my Lumix G7, and I've got the microphone mounted on the top, currently without a wind muff or without the dead cat, so that's completely open. So this is about the clearest kind of response you're going to get from this microphone, so hopefully the audio is coming through nice and clear. Also there's a very slight draft coming through. It's not very windy at all. I was hoping for it to be a bit windier so you could see what the noise cancellation and what that kind of thing is like, but unfortunately, well, it's a pretty nice day here in the UK. So hopefully you're getting a good idea of what the sound comes through like, how clear it is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back into the studio, do a quick unboxing, go through the features, and I'll do some recording on the inside so you can see what it's like in a more echoey environment, that kind of thing. So let's go back to the studio. So we've made a quick detour. I've actually just gone and put the windscreen on the camera, no, on the microphone even. So we've got the windscreen on there now, which is like your standard phone windscreen, which hopefully you'll be seeing in the B-roll, so you can get an idea of what it actually looks like and how it fits on. Just easy pops on. It's really simple to use, really nice to use. So hopefully now, I don't know if there's going to be any difference in the sound. Hopefully we'll find out in the edit. Maybe you can let me know in the comments, have you noticed any difference whatsoever now with the windshield on? So now I'm going to walk down to the bottom of the garden again, and I'm going to put on the dead cat and see if that makes much of a difference. And there's actually a cat that's just run past me. I wonder if you're picking that up as well, because this is a cardioid pattern microphone and it's designed to block out certain noises. Anything from the sides and behind is generally blocked out a little bit. Anything in front should be picked up really well. Who knows? Right, let's try the dead cat. Okay, so we're walking up and down the garden again. So now we've got the dead cat on top, and hopefully this is sounding a little bit better. Again, there's virtually no wind at all tonight. It's a really still night, and if you look at the trees in the background there, you can see there's not a lot of movement at all in any of the branches. It is a really still night here in the UK, but hopefully you can still hear me pretty well, and hopefully in the edit I'm going to try not to adjust the levels too much so you get exactly what's coming out of the microphone straight into the camera. Again, this is the Lumix G7, which is generally got a pretty good kind of preamp and all that kind of stuff, and the sound that goes in is normally sounding pretty good, better than some of the Canon preamps. So anyway, that is the dead cat on the microphone, and hopefully it still sounds pretty good. So we'll swap over now, we'll go back into the studio as I said we were going to, and we'll go through the unboxing and my thoughts. See you in a bit. Okay, here we go again, walking down the garden. Now this time we're going completely through the camera, so this is the camera's built-in microphone. I've left the gain settings exactly as they were with the Comica mic, so hopefully you can get a good idea of what the sound is like. And maybe you'd like me to test this against the Rode Video Micro, again, which is a very similar device, very similar looking and possibly sounding, well hopefully. So anyway, this is the Lumix G7, this is the base audio using the inbuilt mic, so this is going to hopefully give you a kind of idea of what it would sound like without the Comica, which I probably should have done first of all, but there you go. So let's go back and get this unboxing out of the way so you know what you're actually going to get. So actually this was another idea. Oh, there goes a bird. What I thought might be a good idea is if I use the Lumix built-in microphone, and then whilst I'm actually still talking, just click on the side there and put the microphone in so you can hear the difference. So I'm going to put the microphone in now, and I wonder if that sounds any different. We'll find out when we come to edit it. So definitely going to do the unboxing now. Right, here we go again. Now because I'm using this on a What's this? This is the Comica KN Tripod 45. Now, it's not a selfie stick by any means, it's just a monopod, but I'm using it as a selfie stick. So I thought it'd be a good idea. Now, at the moment, I'm kind of arm's distance away from the camera lens, not very far at all. So what I thought I'd do, if I go through the extension of the tripod, which you can't really see, but hopefully you'll get an idea of the distance as I put it up. So I'm going to keep on talking and keep on raising this thing up as far as I can go, and we'll see how long it takes for the audio to completely disappear. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see if you are still picking this up at all, whether it's this is beyond its usable length. So this is with it on its pretty much on its full extension, and you can probably get some idea of the height from this video. So there's probably, the camera's probably about 10 foot or so in the air, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more, but we're at about 10 foot, and I'm probably totally out of focus. Actually, that's better, isn't it? So can you still hear me? Is it still coming through clear enough? Well, this is all in the name of testing. There might be some rattling coming through because actually the monopod is rattling at the bottom, so I'm not holding the spike that goes in the ground. So anyway, the camera, I'd say probably at the moment, and the microphone is getting on for about 6 foot away from me. So just give you an idea of what kind of pickup lengths you can have and what sort of shots. Now, for those of you that are interested, the lens I'm using at the moment is the kit lens, which is the 12mm to 60mm, not the 14 to 42. I do have that as well, but I don't use that very often. So anyway, a little bit more useless information for you. So let's definitely get on with the unboxing in the studio before my voice goes. Okay, so you've seen some of the intro and you've listened to the audio. Now I've reverted back to my lav mic for this video. This is the Boya BY-M1 microphone, which you're listening to at the moment, not the Comica mic. This is still in the box. As I said, I'm going to do an unboxing so you can see what it's all about, but I needed to put my lav mic on in order to do it. So anyway, moving on. So this is the Comica CVM VM10 Mark II micro-directional shotgun microphone. As you can see on the box, it's a cardioid pattern microphone. It comes with 2 cables, one for support for mobile devices, one for use with DSLR cameras and also mirrorless cameras. Basically anything with a 3.5mm jack plug you can plug it into. So if you've got maybe a Zoom H1 and you want to plug it into that, there's no reason why you shouldn't do that. Just on the box on the side, so it's cardioid microphone pattern. So essentially that just means that it's focused in a particular area, which is normally towards the front, a little bit on the sides, and cuts out a lot of the noise on the back. Smartphone or camera, it's got a shock absorber. I can't even speak. Shock absorber. Wow, that was really difficult. It's got super anti-interference. Hopefully it's got a universal translator so you can understand what the heck I'm actually saying. And it's a mini design and it's made of a full metal casing. Comes in 2 colours, comes in black or red. This one is going to be the red version. If you want the full features of the noise gain, decibel ratings, all that kind of stuff, then I'll put it in the links below so you can check out for yourself. There's a long list of specs. Again, there's also links for Comica site, which I will put as well. So let's take a look inside the box and see what we actually get. Now, obviously, if you've seen most of this video already, then you'll probably have a pretty good idea what actually comes in the box, because we've already been filming with it. So in the box you get the usual kind of stuff from the sellers on Amazon, so just saying thank you for buying their product, which I'm assuming most of this is. There's also contact details, so should you have any problems. There's also a QR code you can scan to get in touch. What is that? That is just a Wi-Fi interference mode. Now actually that's quite important for a lot of microphones. Not a lot of people realise this. If you have devices around which are electrical and you're using Wi-Fi or things like that, you can actually get interference from them. I used to find with one of the bulbs in my desk lamp, the Wi-Fi in that would interfere something rotten with my wireless mic. Not so much with the lav mic because the cable is routed away from it, but that is something to bear in mind. So if you do have one of these mics and you're getting problems with interference or static, although they are designed to reduce that or repel it, you still can get some in the kind of wrong conditions. Instruction manual, won't be needing much of that, and again, more warranty information. But this is what we actually want to see. This is the microphone itself. So this is your dead cat, which, as for comparison, I've actually got the Rode Video Micro here. I think it's a Video Micro, and as you can see, same sort of deal. And just so as comparison, the dead cat is effectively the same. I don't think there's any difference at all. Maybe this one's slightly bigger for the inside edge. I don't think they're interchangeable. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's try that. Yes, they are interchangeable. So if you've got some Rode video mic stuff and you want to swap bits and pieces, then that's not going to be a problem. I won't be doing a full audio test because I've already done a little bit of background research, and essentially between the two I honestly couldn't see any difference at all in the sound quality. So if you're maybe in the market and thinking, well, I quite like the Rode Video Micro, but I also like the Comica, which should I get? Honest answer, go for whichever one's the best value for money in your place of residence. For me personally at the moment, the Comica is actually slightly cheaper than the Rode, and so yeah, I would base it on that. Between them there's not a great deal. The Comica actually does come with both sets of leads. So you get the standard lead, which is your 3.5 to 3.5. I think that's the TRS version. So 3 poles. The additional cable is the one for mobile phones. So that's got the 4 rings on it. So that's TRRS, I believe. But you get both of those included. Whereas with Rode Video Micro, you get the choice of either the TRS or the TRRS. So if that's if that is a consideration in your purchase, if you want to use it with mobile phones and you want to use it with 3.5mm standard jacks like DSLR, mirrorless cameras, recording devices, then obviously the Comica stands out from the crowd just by having those extra features. So let's look at the microphone itself. So you've got your general purpose windshield, which actually, whilst I was making the start of this video out in the garden, I was walking around, and I think unless it's in a very, very quiet environment, then using it like this is not really practical. It does pick up a lot of noise just by doing that, just by movement like that. If you've got it in a static position, say for instance like this at the moment, you're in a studio setup, then it's not going to be any problem at all because you're not going to have wind noise. Obviously if you've got air conditioner or fan nearby, any breeze across that is going to pick up. But purely for audio, I think it's going to be absolutely fine. But in any kind of wind, the windshield at a very minimum. And actually personally, when I was listening to it in the garden with the dead cat on, that was the best altogether. I was finding that was far, far better. So that's just my personal preference. Obviously, if you buy one of these, you can use it exactly how you want. But I would say for the best performance in light, breeze and windy conditions, the dead cat is going to be the way to go. So let's show you how to actually mount it to a camera. Now it's really simple. You've got your cold shoe adapter, and all you do is loosen off the screw and insert it into the cold shoe, and then lightly tighten up the connector. The next thing to do is to get your cable, and not that one, it's a smartphone one. So get the one that's marked up saying Comica and for camera or camcorder. Plug it in the back there, and then your other cable plugs into the side of your camera. Now unfortunately this is the Lumix G3, which doesn't have a microphone input. The only one I've got with a microphone input is my Lumix G7, which I'm filming with, so obviously I can't do that. But you get the general idea, so the cable can go in on the side. Now the spring or the coiled cable on the side is actually quite useful because that you can actually move these around a little bit, so to prevent the wire from actually kind of hitting on the side of the body of the camera or on the microphone, again to reduce any additional noise. If you're maybe kind of like vlogging or whatever, and you're in this kind of orientation, then the last thing you want is your microphone cable hitting on the side of your mic to give you any extra interference. So if that was plugged in, I think you're going to be absolutely fine, and that's just going to keep still. So that is essentially the microphone. There's not really a lot else I can say. All I can do now really is I'm going to unplug my lav mic, and we're going to plug this mic in directly to the camera so you can hear what it's like in a kind of studio environment. Now I will tell you for now, this is essentially my living room at home. There's no special treatment on any of the walls whatsoever, and there isn't any real furniture in here. There's a couple of computer desks and this table, so there's a lot of flat surfaces without any material. So you are going to get some echo, you are going to get some reverb, and it isn't going to sound great. And this microphone actually has a preamp on it, whereas this microphone has no amplification whatsoever. It's all self-powered from the camera, so there is going to be a difference in sound quality. And also because the lav mic is kind of literally kind of centimeters away from my mouth, the audio pickup isn't going to be as great. But where this does excel is if there's groups of people, or maybe you're shooting wildlife, sports matches, those kinds of things, where you don't want to pick up on a specific person, but you want to pick up on a variety of sounds around that person as well. then these are fantastic. There's been quite a few occasions when I've been filming videos for these Den smart switches where I've had my lav mic on, and it's been it's inconvenient because I've got wires and tethers, and I've got to be careful about where I put my mouth and all that kind of thing because the sound dips out. With a shotgun mic, you don't get that as much of a problem. There are other characteristics you have to bear in mind, like obviously wind noise, vibrations, anything tapping against it, but those are things that we generally kind of worry about anyway, regardless of what microphone we're using. So anyway, I've waffled on for far too long. I'm going to get this connected to the G7 and we'll continue. Okay, so now we're recording audio directly from the camera using the Comica, the CVM VM10 Mark II. And as you can see, I haven't got my lav mic on, it's actually here in my hands, so let's get rid of that. So what do you think of the audio? Now, I'm imagining there's going to be a massive difference in the actual sound quality, reverb and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully you're picking up on other sounds which are in the room as well. So possibly you're picking up maybe on the fans in the PC behind me, which possibly you've never noticed before because the lav mic obviously being here is shielded for that kind of thing. But you get the idea that this microphone is going to pick up extra things that you wouldn't normally hear with a lav mic or some kind of closed mic. So again, think about what it is you're actually filming, think about what your needs are as a videographer or recordist, whatever it is you're trying to do. Bear in mind that there isn't a microphone which is a kind of one thing suits all. You generally need a selection of microphones. I've got another microphone which I use, a USB microphone for doing voiceovers and for talking on the Discord server, which of course you're more than welcome to join, links are in the description below. I use the lav mic for most of the videos I do, but it's quite nice to actually have this kind of shotgun mic so that I can get out and do things either in the garden or whilst I'm doing DIY, so I'm not restricted by having cables around me. And also if I move my head around, you should still be picking up the audio, whereas when I have my lav mic, sometimes because I'm getting slightly older, a couple of chins blocks up the microphone so the audio goes, which you can clean up in post-production, but it's not always ideal. So if you want to be a kind of run and gun type of shooter and you just want to get some great audio straight out of the camera with minimal fuss, not have to worry about any batteries or anything like that, and not really have to worry about if the thing's actually on, because as long as it's plugged in, it's going to work. It's going to be great, no problems whatsoever. So let me know what you think of the sound quality in the description below. Again, let me know what kind of thing you'll be using a shotgun style mic for. I'd be interested to see what your usages are and things like that. But this has been the Comica CVM VM10 Mark II. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.
Hey Bert.
Hey Ernie.
How are you, Bert?
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, I'm good too.
I need a haircut. No, you don't. That's a great haircut.
Oh, I need a haircut. No, you got old hair.